Hi everyone, a quick Carbonwurks workshop video. Today it's on GPF or OPF petrol particulate filter Terminator connector. So as the name suggests, it is a connector. It is for our off-road application or track-based applications where you have an exhaust system that removes the emissions control in the form of a particulate filter. This is all you need to then prevent any engine warning lights or management lights coming up on the dash. Essentially the idea is it fools the system into thinking that it's still seeing the required values that it should have as feedback from the back pressure sensor monitoring that side of the exhaust system. It's actually quite straightforward, so it is just this lead and it only needs to be plugged in line, so there's no removal of existing hardware required. All the pressure sensor, pipework, wiring, etc. remains in place. You just take this and plug it in between the factory wiring and the factory sensor, and then the resistors, the wiring change that is in this section of wiring is then enough to make changes to the signals being seen and interpreted by the ECU to make it think that the filter is still there and that everything is happy. So we've got a Mini Cooper S here, which is a track car. I'll quickly show it to you. Obviously, dependent on the vehicle modification, vehicle specification, sorry, the connector location will be in different places. Obviously, this has only got one. If it's a V engine, there'll be two, so on and so forth. But like I say, all it requires is for you to locate the position of the factory back pressure particulate filter sensor, put this in line between it and the factory wiring, and that is job done. So a quick rundown, as previously said, this car is a Mini Cooper S. The sensor, which is in my hand currently, was hiding down the back of the engine bay just there. So I've taken out some bulkhead panels and an intake pipe that runs across the back of the engine, which then allows me to get access to the sensor location on the back corner of the cylinder head. For the purposes of this video, I've removed it completely. That's not necessary, but this does have and will retain the one sensor pipe. So there'll be a pressure pipe coming to this barb on the sensor. So that's the sensor. This is the tail end of the factory wiring here. And as previously stated, it is simply a case of clipping the female and male ends in together on the loom as such. So again, though not quite in its current place, you then end up with that loop of wiring, which is the home for the resistor or the terminator, however you wish to determine the part. And then what I'd likely do is secure that together using some cable ties, so it's all in place, not going to go anywhere. Refit that in the original location, and that is simply it. So there's no coding, no software or anything like that. It's all just hardware, straight fit. All the hardware, original hardware, factory hardware remains. You add our Terminator connector loop and that is it, and that should cover you then for any potential issues regarding emissions related codes or management lights. Any questions, feel free to drop us an email. Obviously other models of vehicle are different, but the same theory applies. You locate the sensor, you put the wiring loop in between, so the terminator between the sensor and the factory wiring, and job's done. Thanks for watching.